Adonis just wants to touch the water quickly. He loves this. He really likes to drink the water straight out of the pipe. And now Billy wants to come and play with the water. He's gonna just squirt us all wet. He loves to do that. Ah, Billy. Yeah, that is his favorite thing to do. The other monkeys, there is little Bella right there. Oh, Donna. Got a lemon tree here. Had it here for at least a year. So it's just starting to grow. Let's see, where's the other monkeys? Oh, there is Chaka. Chaka. Oh, he wants to also squirt, but he doesn't know where he's got his. Look at that. Look at you, Chaka. You're full of water now. And little Lily. No, that is little Chloe. Yes, that's little Chloe. Adonis. No, they're just gonna squirt me with it. But in any case, I just want to quickly water all the trees and then I'm done. The dogs next door, they whenever they hear something, they also want to just be part of it. So there's their part of being part of this zoo house. So let me get going. Let's see where's Arnie. Tracy is taking a quick swim over there. Arnie! Yeah, he is eating. Oh, Arnie, the pipe is too short. It's only reaching right here. Just look at him there. Daisy! Okay, Adonis, you wants it again. Ready to get going. I'll quickly water everything, and then the boys will probably start to get up. So when Zack hears me on this side, then he wants me there. And he goes crazy over there. Let me just walk over to him. Look at that. Yeah. Orange just wants me to stay a little longer. Okay. Got it. Didn't drop it. It's really difficult if you have to split them, and it's just because of these two, but it's just one of those things. There's no way around it. Yes, you can leave them together and let them fight and then realize that they shouldn't, but if it happens more than once, it's too much. So if they don't learn it in that first few seconds, then you've got a problem. You have to then keep them apart. Dogs are like that. Now he's happy. He just wanted me to be on this side with him rather. And Sasha as well. But yeah, Zack is probably the dog that wants me around the most. He is the one that I'm worried about when I'm not home. Because the others can keep on going and entertain one another, but Zack will stay up until I am back. I had a dog like that. Her name was Sasha, and yeah, she was amazing. But if I just touched her, it was like I charged her, and when I released her, she just ran off, and she could really run. I'll put a picture up of her. I miss her very much. I had her about 7 years ago. She passed away, but she was old then. She was having a hard time getting up and down the stairs and things, so it was really becoming a problem. She was old, and I was actually planning to put up a little elevator for her in her old age, but it didn't happen in time. But in any case, she was probably the one dog that that Zack has taken over from. That is actually the thing. She was always, if I got home, she jumped over the wall to come and get me on the other side. And she could jump any wall. These tigers got nothing on that dog. That dog could climb. And she was fat and she could climb. But in any case, yeah, she was amazing. I'll put up a picture of her. But yeah, Zack is a difficult one to keep satisfied. Tigers, they just want to sleep. They're not getting up right now, but they will. Let's give them a few minutes. Orioki Diego, little Katya, and little Bunny. Little Richard walking over here. And let's just see, this is Houdini, and this one, this is Punisher. Yeah, the Diegos. They're just hanging out over here. The only problem at night in this area is mosquitoes. They get you. The tigers, they are sleeping right there. Enzo is right there in the bushes. Or is that Enzo in the jungle gym? Can't really tell. I think that might be Enzo right there. Could even be Diego. From this angle I can't really tell. I just see a big stomach. But in any case, they are all just hanging around, spending their time. So that is where Grandma Cat is hanging out these days. Just look at her right there. In the weeds. Now, that's where the fleas comes from. She gets it in the fields and then she brings it into the house. So I have to treat her more than the others. But in any case, the Diegos are right here, picky. They are all just hanging around, playing all the time. Little Bunny as well. There she is. And then, of course, little Orioki Diego. Just look how big he got. The boys, there they are, asleep. Oh, Enzo's not asleep, but he's almost asleep. Just don't fall out of there, Enzo. I think I should just put some reinforcing on that side, because they did push that panel loose. Because I guess if two tigers kick against one another, they might just kick those panels straight off from the ends. And believe me, I've seen Enzo drop down from the jungle gym before, and as he grabbed, he actually stretched his, I'd say, his paw or his leg, and he was walking with a limp for about 2 weeks. But that was 7 years ago, so he's still perfectly fine. He learned his lesson back then. Well, they are all just walking around here. Little Richard. What, he's just swiping for the camera. Just look at that. Yeah, his rupture that he had, it's still there, but it's stable. It's no problem. He'll be just fine. Yeah, they were just giving me a lesson in how to change the cat sand. They showed me how they dig it out of that little hole, and then I had to just change it quickly, but it's done. So they'll be playing, having some fun right up here for the next few hours. Okay, so I think I need a cat litter tray for the Diegos right at the top. So I'm gonna buy this one. I think that might just work quite well. If it doesn't work, I'll use it as a pot, but yeah, I'm gonna use it as a cat litter tray. Yeah, this little hedgehog just messed Jackie's hand. Yeah. What are you gonna do with it now? In both hands. That was a nice laugh. Sometimes an animal can grab in your hand. Sometimes they grab in both. I have to say, I really like these macaws. They are really beautiful. And I would really like to have a huge cage and put 100 of them in there. But I mean a huge cage. Bigger than my house or my whole place. Because I think they need a place like that. It will be very nice. But yeah, maybe one day I'll buy them all, put them all in a very, very nice place. Hope is just here quickly saying hi to me, and yeah, she just likes to stretch out like this. I'm just quickly busy fitting some fittings to the taps that I have here and on the hose pipes, because I just want to quickly hose down the car before I put it in the garage. The dogs are this side, and my biggest problem at the moment is getting these zip ties off here without having any tools here. But luckily I do have some tools over here, but I couldn't open them because I didn't have tools to open their zip ties last week already. But at least here I do have one now, so I can open up all of it. Just some of the things that real life presents to you. I don't even know where it's the tigers now. Let me just see. Diego! Enzo! They're probably asleep right there at the back. But let me get going, putting this together so I can actually just save so much time on washing cars it's gonna just save me a whole day every month. So yeah, that's how you get these things done. You try and save time. Right, there we go. It's that time of the day again. Enzo is up and he is taking his walk, and the two boys, Zack and Sasha, are running and they are tempting him to play. And he really likes it. He wants to walk through the water. Okay, he turned around. But I'll get him. Yeah, that is those two starting to play. Little birds around here, they're coming for some water. Yeah, the whole country is, oh, I'm not going to say the whole country, but a big part of it is receiving some load shedding at the moment. So most people don't have electricity, or at least knowing that they will have it. I like it. I think I'm set up for it. I don't use a lot of electricity. If my phone is charged, I can basically do everything. But if you are relying on electricity for heat or cold, then you might have a big problem. Zack! So yeah, there's a lot of things that people don't even know. Well, I would have liked if Zack's barking would have been electric. I could have just switched it off, but I don't think that is going to be an option. Zack, Enzo key. Yeah, let me get going. I've got stuff to do. There's the Jaeger as well. I threw them an empty cold drink bottle last night because they were growling and just needed a little distraction because they were making a noise. And I threw them the bottle, and then I just heard the bottle being punctured in the dark, and then they were quiet. But in any case, see you guys a bit later. Well, what do you know? A dinosaur egg right here. I'm gonna keep my eye on it, see if it maybe something happens, and maybe there's a little dinosaur just running around here pretty soon. We'll just see. Looks like one. If I had to say what a dinosaur egg should look like, I think this might be it. So we'll just check it. Yes, this is the walk that Diego gives as we are walking towards going to fetch his food. He really likes the idea that we're gonna get his food now and he's gonna be able to eat. Right, all the Diegos, they are down here. Oh, that one is out. Yeah, I'm trying to still keep them in, but they do go out now and then. But they stay where they should, and yeah, they all come now. Cutest cat in the world as well. Let me go get their food quickly. Okay, and they are eating. Little Bunny, well, she is just getting what she wants right there. Although I did feed all the other cats at the bottom as well. They've got a choice. They can go up or down to eat. Enzo, ready for his food. I'm gonna get to them right now, but let's just go and check up on the little ones here at the bottom. I'm sure they have chosen to eat downstairs today. Yes, here is quite a few. Oh well, not that many. Vegetarian cat is just eating what he wants to eat right there. Let's see, where's the boys? They are everywhere. Enzo! Right, Enzo's got that look on his face. He's ready to eat. Here we go, get their stuff so they can have their dinner. Okay, it is time to go feed all the animals. Let me just walk right through here. Oh, there's one that fell out. That does not always happen, but that happens when I try and carry too many things in one go. But it'll save you so much if it works out. So what happens if it doesn't work out? Well, there'll be some dirty water on the floor, like there. And then I can just leave it for someone else to clean it. And that is what South Africa's problem is. Right, Enzo, are you ready? So, what happened in South Africa and what is still happening here all this time that makes it just not work out exactly as it should. Just get my breath back here. These chickens are quite heavy. The first thing is people started to take each other on. That was the main problem. That is what caused every single thing to go wrong. Now, if I say they take each other on, it means they're using time which should have been used to fix things, to waste on pointless fights and huge costs, because it takes a lot of money if you want to take people on. Then it goes to court, and eventually after 5 years things are thrown out, not really settled, but there was a lot of costs, so the taxpayer had to cover all of that. Now that, I'd say, is the main reason why South Africa is in the position it is, because everybody was just fighting and acting smart while real life was still continuing. Becky, I don't know if people really know much about South Africa. It's, well, I'd say it used to be the most developed part of Africa, and it's in a very good place. It's got great minerals and gold, diamonds, coal, you name it. It is right underneath the ground. It's free. It's what is supposed to drive this country. Now in the 80s, when I grew up, we were children, and we had job opportunities that would come up in the next 10 years, and they did come up. Now back then there was a lot of sanctions against South Africa, and South Africa had to stand alone. They had to make sure that they can do everything that was necessary to make a country great. Then eventually politics started to change a lot. People were not being taught to work on a lathe or be a bricklayer or any of that stuff. They were rather being taught to become, well, more academic. And I remember when I was at school, there was always a fight between the children. Who will go technical and who will go academic? And it was always said that the ones who went academic was the smart ones, and the ones that went technical was, well, the not so smart ones. So we all had to decide what were we gonna do for the rest of our lives, like you always do when you are 16 years old. Most people don't know what they're gonna be even now, like myself. I don't really know what I am gonna be one day. Maybe I will just be a YouTuber. No, but there was no YouTube, and we had to choose something. So people chose things like electricians, And the goal was to become an engineer, which is not very difficult. You study a couple of years, you get to a certain age, and then you become an engineer after you write the government ticket. But then those were the things that we were taught and what we were striving for. And then they were not needed anymore, because all of a sudden everything was being imported, and we did not need to do anything in South Africa except supply gold, things from the mines, all the mining that would pay for everything that we don't need to do anymore. But it didn't work out that way. Things started getting more expensive, and gold, well, if there's a strike or there is something wrong, then there is no gold. And if the price of gold goes up or down, it makes a huge difference. So this is where we are now. There's a boat on its way into South Africa that is bringing some diesel, so we can keep the lights on for the next probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's where it is now. They have stuffed everything up in such a way that it's necessary now to have diesel fuel to generate electricity. I'm fine with the electricity thing being off. I love it, to be honest. It's nice and quiet. To me, a treat is if that plane is not flying over here every 10 seconds and the cars in their street don't make their noise. If it's nice and quiet like now, I love it. I'll rather sit in the dark than listen to that. But it's not about me, it's about the economy. We need to keep on going, and we'll see how it goes. But there is so many ways that it could have gone right. I made a video a while ago about you get what you deserve, and there was a few people who was upset with me because maybe they got something that they didn't think they deserved. But if you really go into that, you will find that if you have been doing something and you got something you don't deserve, but the stuff that you did do will still pay out. That is the way it works. And if you have done everything wrong and you have literally not done anything that can be of help later on, well, then that is what you're gonna get. There is no way around it. And that is where we are now. This place will get the consequence of what was going on here in the last, well, in all of the last times. So we'll take it, we'll see what it is. There's no way that anyone can really give advice or so on to anyone who is in charge. I remember 10, 12 years ago, I was the first person with LED lights in South Africa. They are so economical. They use very little electricity. I've got them installed in my house. They're still working today. No one wanted to buy it from me. Not anyone. Only 10 years later, they started saying that this is now new technology. It's been old technology for a while now. But that is what you're dealing with. Unless you are in the position where you are the buyer, or one of your children or a family member is a buyer, then they will buy anything from anywhere. But because you've got a great product does not mean that they will even look at it. Because what's the point? This thing is going to solve the problem. We don't want the problem solved. We want it to be bad so we can create an opportunity to make money. I've looked at this system in South Africa for a long time. They don't want it to be right because it is an easy decision. If you drive your car and you get to the stop street, you stop. You can turn left or you can turn right. Now, what happens in South Africa is people drive with the car and they want to go straight over the stop street. And then when they are halfway down the road, they want to say we should have turned left or we should have turned right. No one is going to go anywhere in South Africa for a while. The first thing they need to just do is realize that they were wrong. That is the first thing. Unless you can get to that, you will not carry on further. Then you have to look at what needs to be done to get it right. And then you do that. And the third step is continue to do the things that are right. That will get you to a point. Maybe it's going to be 10 years. It'll get you to a point where you will have a very nice country. It's so easy, but people make it hard. But they're going to get what they went for. And I think the quickest way to recover in South Africa is for everything to come to a standstill. There needs to be no electricity for at least 2 weeks, because people have not seen what will happen then. They need to experience it. There needs to be no fuel. That is going to help with the repair, because unless you get to that point, you are still falling towards it. So I don't know what's going to happen. At least I don't use a lot of electricity. I think my house is set out to be one of the easiest places to live in without anything else. I mean, I don't need to mow my lawn. There's many things I don't need to do here. I don't really need to travel to work and back. It's things like that that is at the end the real perks. And everything was against that. I remember receiving letters and letters that I was not allowed to work from my house. I had to drive out every single day, pay rent somewhere where I could just have a place where I can work and do things, and it didn't work. I gave it up. We were forced by law to mess the country up. The regulations was ridiculous. When you want to build something, they sit and they figure out new ways. I remember drawing up the plans for my house. It was perfect and I had it approved, and I started building my house. And then all of a sudden I started with a new project. I planted trees and things because that takes the longest, and I did that first. And when I wanted to get the plans for that house drawn up, there were so many regulations. It would have cost 3 times what I paid for my house just to get the plans drawn up. And then they wanted dolomite tests and all kinds of tests performed. That was never an issue. And then I just said, I'm going to leave this project. And I stopped it. And I'm glad I did, because it would have ruined me. But for the ones who didn't, they are now ruined. Especially if it's companies with a lot of people making the decisions. If it's one person that makes these decisions, it's easy. You can at any time just say the words, I'm done. I'm not interested anymore. I'm out. But when you are steering a boat with 20 steering wheels and every single person steers in a different direction, you're not gonna make it to your destination. And that is South Africa. I don't vote because I'm not gonna take the responsibility of saying I voted for this guy or I voted for that guy. They are not capable of running a country. You can run it like a company, but then you're going to have a lot of people that's unhappy. There's a difference between running a country and running a company. Well, that's it. We'll see what happens. But in any case, I hope you have a great day wherever you are in the world, and keep your eyes on South Africa. Learn a lesson out of this. We are going through this, and we are going through it hopefully not for nothing. I hope every country in this world can learn a lesson from South Africa, and they will. Just make sure you learn that lesson, because when things get real, it gets real quick. Well guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And like always, have a great day.